Fad diets versus recommended intakes of carbohydrate, fats, and protein. The most prevalent nutritional problem in the United States is obesity due to excessive food consumption, and many people have experimented with fad diets in the hope of losing excess weight. In truth, nutritionists recommend that caloric intake in the diet be met in the following proportions: 55 to 60% from carbohydrates, no more than 30% from fat, and the rest 10 to 15% from protein. For the average American, these recommendations would require an increased consumption of carbohydrates and a diminished intake of fat and protein. Despite this fact, one of the most popular fad diets is a high-protein, high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet. The premise for such diets is tantalizing because the tricarboxylic acid, TCA, is the primary site of fat metabolism, and because glucose is usually needed to replenish intermediates in the TCA cycle, a restricted carbohydrate diet should result in the conversion of dietary fat into products known as ketone bodies, which would then be excreted in the urine. This so-called diet appears to work at first because a low-carbohydrate diet results in an initial water and therefore weight loss. Some water loss occurs because glycogen reserves are depleted by this diet and because about 3 grams of water of hydration are lost for every gram of glycogen. Additional water loss accompanies ketone body excretion and the excretion of the urea generated by metabolism of the excess protein. However, the long-term results of this diet are usually disappointing for several reasons. First, ketone body excretion by the human body usually does not exceed 20 grams per day. Second, amino acids can function effectively to replenish TCA cycle intermediates, making the reduced carbohydrate regimen irrelevant. Third, the typical fare in a high-protein, high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet is more expensive and ultimately monotonous, and it thus is very difficult to maintain. Finally, a high-fat diet represents a significant risk for atherosclerosis and coronary artery disease later in life. And that is fad diets versus recommended intakes of carbohydrate, fats, and protein. Have a great day.